Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with Me, and I wanted to pop on and do a flip through of a couple of albums that I have made. And I will be listing these over on our store as soon as I get finished with this video. This is the one that we made, the Cascading mini album. I made another one, so I'm going to be selling this one. I made another one for my daughter, kind of in her colors. So I'm going to be selling this one. This one is the one that we made out of file folders, if you'll recall, and I will link that video below so you can go over and take a look at that. But it's just got some different vintage laces and trims on each page down through here. Each page cascades down. It's about that thick, and let's see about what size it is. Grab a ruler. It is overall, it's about, if I can read this ruler, I'm not used to this ruler. It's 8 inches, about 8 inches wide, and it is right at 7.5 tall, so it's pretty good size. We've got some beautiful ephemera and flowers on here, more vintage lace, and then lace to cover the spine. And then these are some journal labels. This has got a little belly band here, and then we just put one of our little cards that we did out of the book page that we folded, and it has some little T cards in it. There's a couple of little T cards in there. And then just some Tim Holtz ephemera, a little piece of ephemera that we had in our stash, a little fussy cut flower here, and then another one of those. These are the larger T cards, but that's just an old vintage book page. And then we did tuck in over here on this side. Get those out. We tucked in just a few little journal cards, the small journal cards that we have. We just kind of tucked those in on this side. And I just bent that little edge up just a little bit so that they wouldn't fall all the way through. I do that sometimes on my albums, like that. And then this one just kind of tucks right there, like that. We put a little butterfly, did a little cluster right there on that. And then here is one of our fussy cut flowers, a little butterfly, and then one of the journal tags it's on top of a little book page. And then there's one of Tina's number labels. So that's a beautiful area for a photo. And then this one has another belly band on it. And we just put a fussy cut flower here, a book page that's kind of rolled up, a little bitty piece of lace there with a little piece of bling, one of her Tina's labels, it says floral, and then one of our little tiny labels, it says every moment matters. So that's what's on there. And then tucked under there, we put here, under this little belly band, we have just this little vellum pocket that's made out of some of our vellum. And then it's just a little journal card, and it's kind of plain. We left it plain in case you want to do a lot of writing in that. So that kind of tucks back up under there. And then there is a pocket right here. We don't have anything in that pocket. I may slide another tag or something in there for you, or just leave it like it is, and you could put something in there when you get it. We did another little cluster here with some Tim Holtz ephemera, a book page, and then some of our flowers from our stash. And then this has that vintage lace on there. Here we've got a vellum pocket, and it just has a little card, a little T card slid down inside so that you can see that rose through there. A little memories right there. This is some of Tim Holtz ephemera, and then a little piece of bling. And then this one also has a little card on the inside as well, on this pocket right here. And it just has a little card right there. And I am going to glue that back right there. I saw it pop up, so I'm going to glue that back while I've got you. And you could go ahead and stitch around some of these if you wanted to. I didn't stitch around all of them, but that's something that you could do when you get it. Or you could reinforce it another way if you wanted to do that, or just leave it as is. Some people, they don't like the stitching, so that's why I didn't stitch on this. That page I kind of left as is because I like that. I think it's pretty. So Then here we have a pocket, and I did just a little cluster up here with a T card, some vellum, and then a little butterfly. And then we just have a little card tucked in there, a little tag. And then one of Tina's labels here, a little label there, and I can't remember where that inspiration came from. And then just, this is from Tim Holtz ephemera. So we just tuck it up to that. We don't put it past that so that it'll stay there. And then this, I actually did this on video. This has a tag here that has a little tag right there. It has ephemera across it, a little tag tucked under there, and then some Tim Holtz ephemera with a little piece of lace at the top. And then that just slides right back down in there. And then here, just some little pieces of ephemera on that. And then it's just back with a book page. And you can write on these book pages. I write on them all the time, and I think it makes it look very pretty. I use a blue ink to write on them with, and it stands out and looks so pretty. Here, I've just got a little thing that says notes, and then I just rolled up a little piece of paper right there, just so that you could, it looked like a little rolled up note. So that's there. Okay, then, put that back in there. Then on this side, we have a little vellum pocket with a little flower. This is from one of our printables, Tim Holtz ephemera, and then it has just a little tag on the inside that is plain on the back for journaling. And that just tucks right back down in there. And I just tore the top of that vellum page and inked it a little bit. I think that looks pretty. I didn't do a lot here because I love that old building. And then there's a tuck spot over here, a book page in the back, a piece of vintage lace. And then this is just one of the tags that we made. This is from Tim Holtz. Just a little bit of black bling here and here. And then another little journal card with a flower on there, and just one of Tim Holtz's pieces here. And then the back is plain, so you can write on there. Okay, and that just tucks back under there, just like that. And then over here we have just a cluster. We just did a cluster out of some of that's vintage lace that we have there, and then just a little piece of bling, some book page, some of Tim Holtz items, just doing a little cluster. And then there's a good page for a photo. We have some vintage lace right down through there. And then here it's just a little tag. It's got another place right here that you could insert another tag if you would want. And then there's places on the back that you could write, and it's just got a little tiny tuck spot right there at the side and some vintage lace on that. Then this page I left just like it was. I loved how this writing was here, how this muted rose was on there. Loved that. I didn't want to do anything to this page, so I left it. This one, I used one of our pockets that we made with the book pages and stamped on them, and I will leave the link to that below. We just used one of Tina's labels, and it says tree. I think this is Tina. This may be Tracy labels. This is a Tracy label. And then a little flower, a piece from Tim Holtz, just a piece of our vellum. And then we have just a little book on the inside, and I have got to make a tag to go in there. I've got one made. I just haven't gotten it in there yet, but I will make a tag to go in that one and put it in there. You could add some little sheets in here and make this a little notebook. And then it's got all of this information on the back that I cannot read because it's in another language, but I thought it was really pretty. So that just tucks right back down in there. Now this this page, this little pocket right here is stitched around. So, and then there's some vintage lace here. So that is we didn't do anything to the back. You can left that plain. You could do something there if you wanted. That's the little cascading mini album. Now, like I said, this will be linked. We have one. This will be linked over on the website, and that link will be directly below. Okay, this is our folio that we made, and a lot of people call them a lap book. I call it a folio. Either one, it doesn't matter. This is the little folio that we made, and I will link that video below. It's got a butterfly here that has some little bling in the center for his body. little fussy cut pieces, a bow, some beautiful bling and flowers here. And then this is one of our ephemera pieces. And this, I think that was cut from the paper pack. And then this beautiful Prima paper here that has that gold sheen on it. These are just a double doily stacked in the back. And then you open it up, and on this side right here, it has just a couple of little T card. Well, it has a little T card and then a little ticket right there that's just tucked right in that tiny little pocket right there. And then here you've got a slide, and I call it a sideways belly band, I guess. And it just has memories, some little bling, a little flower right here. And then it just had this, I fussy cut this, and that's an Edith Holden piece. And then there's the information for the geranium. This is a Tina tag. And then it just has some pages in here that you could write on. Just different pages, they're kind of different lengths. So you know, some of them are long, some of them are shorter. There's a music page, notebook pages, tea-dyed pages, just different things through here. And I have just sewn that in. And then the back, I just used a piece of our sprayed paper that has that, it has that shine to it. And then on the back, I just put a piece of book page on there. And all this is stitched around. So that slides right back down in there. This is another little pocket right here. I didn't make tags for this, but I tell you, I will go ahead and make tags for this for whoever purchases this. I'll go ahead and put a few little small tags down here. They're not going to be very big because this is small and we don't want it to cover this up. And I've just done a little cluster here with a book page, label, and then a little T card and a little tiny flower. This I left as was because that is so pretty to me with that collaging done with the paper. So I left that as it is. And then you open it up, and there, I can't get all of it in camera at one time, but there is that. This book, this journal, is put in here with, I've got eyelets, and then it's put in with elastic, so it can be taken out, taken with you, and then put back in. I've done a little cluster up here. I've tore a little piece of paper here that has an old vintage castle on it. This looks like something in Italy or somewhere. I fussy cut a key. There's a book page, and then some little flowers there. And then some of that Venetian vintage lace. I love that. Then on the inside, it's got a little pocket right there. And I just made a little tag and stitched around it. And I just left the front as is. I didn't do a lot of collaging or anything on there because to me that looked pretty, just like it was. And then we have some tea-dyed paper, coffee-dyed paper, sprayed paper, Edith Holden page, book pages. This is just out of an old journal that I've had forever. And let's see, there's a coffee-dyed page, music page that has a little pocket right here. And then there is more tea-dyed paper, sprayed paper. I think that is just a book page. There's a notebook page. This is a ledger page that came out of one of my old ledgers. For anybody who don't know, I used to be an accountant. Well, I still am an accountant, but I used to really work in that profession. So I have some old ledgers, and I've torn that out and stained it. And then there's a book page, and there's some more of our sprayed pages. And then in the center, there's a beautiful doily that's sprayed. And then, of course, this side has the same things. You have some pockets over here. There's a little tuck pocket on this side. And then there's a little double pocket there. And let's see, I think that's all the pockets. There's the other part of the Edith Holden. I can't even say my own name. And then you have a little tuck pocket here on the side. I got to glue that one. I just noticed. I need to glue that one down. I will do that. And then I need to put another tag in the back of this, but it can slide out. All you have to do is go to the center, and then you can just pull this elastic up and slide that out, and you've got a journal on its own. So you can use the journal in or out, either one that you want, or you can use it and then bring it back and insert it back in. It's just up to you. I just made it where it would come out and in instead of it being stationary. When you get to your little doily, just make sure that you slow down on sliding that in there. You just slide it back to that center part, and there you go. Folds right back up. Then the back I didn't do anything on because I didn't want this to be so bulky that it wouldn't close. Now, if you watch the video, you'll know that this actually turned out to be something a little bit different than what I had intended. But I'm going to be making tags to go in each one of these, and they're going to be I call them the half moon tags. So they'll be like a half moon like that. The little tags that go down in here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pockets. Each one of them has some of this really pretty trim on there. And I'll probably do a little bit more of embellishing here too as I make my tags. So that's going to be more done for anybody who purchases it. That will be completely finished. Then over here, I made a book, and I just tore some of the page back and put some lace under there, put some Venetian lace down here, put some book page over here, and then just a little flower, a tag, and then a Tina tag there. I didn't do stitching around this, did I? Yes, I did. I did stitching around this, but then I also did some faux stitching around it too. So it just kind of looks like it's double stitched. Just shows you that you can do either or. And then I did just a tiny little cluster here with a little pocket, and then I have tucked in just a couple of little T cards in there. And then here is a tag tucked in this one. It's just got a book page on the back. And then this pocket is just made from a book page here. And then it just has that vintage looking flower on there, and a little label that I left blank in case you wanted to put something there. This is just some of my sprayed papers. Some of them are sprayed with blueberry spray. Some of them are sprayed with gold spray. They have mica in them. There's a pocket there that I need to glue down. I will go back through all of this and make sure those pockets are glued down for you. And then there's a book page and a notebook page out of one of my old notebooks. And so these are all really shiny and sprayed. And, nothing is coming off on my hand, so I think all the mica is set in there really well. I don't think you'd have a problem writing on any of these. If you feel like that you would have a problem, you can take a towel, just like one of my towels that I keep here at the desk. Take that towel and just rub across the page. And if there's any excess mica on there, it'll come off, and then you won't have any problem writing on the pages. So there is more of that. Okay, and then you have just a little tuck pocket back here if you wanted to put some little photos or little notes in there until you got them in your journal. You could do that. And then this just has a large tuck side right there that would just tuck that under. So now this one is made from one of those hanging file folders. That's what this is made from. So it's just one of those, really I think it's 2 large hanging file folders, and then this book and this book took a half of one, I do believe. But I will put the video below so you can watch this being made. Now on the back I didn't do anything because I figured if it was a lap book you wouldn't want anything extra on there. But that is that, and it just closes back up like that. It doesn't need a magnet or anything. It stays closed really well. It's got lace on both sides. Both spines has lace on it. But that is our folio or lap book, whichever one you want to say. And like I said, I will put a couple more tags in there and glue those pockets down before it is shipped out to anyone. I do have only one of these, so if you want it, it will be linked directly below. You can go over and check that out. All right, guys, that is the 2 items I'm wanting to give a flip through of, and we will talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.